Hey, what is going on, all my fellow godlies and Warframe enthusiasts around the world? I am Vance, bringing you another addition to the Warframe Rapid Fire Devil builds. And in today's episode, we are obviously featuring Khora. Alright, so maybe it wasn't all that obvious that this was Khora, just because of the pumpkin head going on here. I think that this skin meshes very, very well with this helmet, and I would go so far as to say that, like, we need to keep the Dullahan mask all year round. Like, why can't we? I don't understand. It'd be nice to keep these seasonal things just all year round, because if they take this away from Khora, I mean, hell, let's see what this looks like. Not very impressive at all. I'm not a very big fan of Khora's helmets, and this just looks like it fits so well. But I'm spending far too much time on appearance, and this is definitely not my Space Barbie series. So let's get into the actual build with Khora. I am using a Condemn Khora. Condemn Khoras are not all that abundant. I don't think the world knows about them quite yet. However, I am using Steel Charge as my aura preparation to give me max energy at the start, because I know you guys use Khora for Steel Path. I mean, why wouldn't you? You also use it for Steel Essence farms. So again, max energy, we've discussed it before, pretty important, pretty integral to the setup. We've got Overextended, Augur Reach, Prime Continuity, Fleeting Expertise, Adaption, Accumulating Whip Claw, Prime Flow, and Stretch. The one thing that's very important with this setup is the 265% power range. You're not going to require a lot of strength, which is why we've got 40% here, because everything that you do in terms of damage is going to stem from your stat stick and not necessarily your powers. For the Arcane Enhancements, I have Arcane Aegis and Arcane Energize. The Energize to give you energy, more so whenever you get energy orbs, and then Aegis for shields. I still need to hunt a lot of Eidolons in order to max some of these Arcane Enhancements out. So moving beyond that, I wouldn't say that the primary is very important, but if you want to include one, I find that AoE weapons are the best to use for Khora. I use the Kuvaton Core. I have a Riven with Toxin plus critical chance. I would definitely need to re-roll this so that I get 1 negative and 3 positives, because the 1 negative boosts the 3 positives significantly, and the fact that this is only a 3 ribbon disposition, so it's not all that very impressive. Vital Sense is present with Split Chamber, Serration, Infected Clip, Prime Cryo Rounds, Vigilante Armaments, and Hunter Munitions. I also have Vigilante Supplies, so really this is here to increase the chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. I featured this before. I believe this debuted in my Grendel God build. You can go back in time to see if that statement is true or not. But moving on, we're going to get into the Kuva Brock. I don't think that I've featured a build for this yet. So I have Barrel Diffusion, Deep Freeze, Pathogen Rounds, Prime Target Cracker, Lethal Torrent, Pistol Pestilence, Prime Heated Charge, and Prime Pistol Gambit. This makes this thing hit pretty hard. It's not the best damage you're going to see from a secondary, but I figured since it was a new build, I could showcase it to you guys anyway. So I have shown off the Broken War before, not with the skin of course, but I believe I have changed some things specifically for this build. I have the Crimson Dervish, as I always do, because that's my favorite stance for short swords. The Prime Pressure Point, Prime Fever Strike, Drifting Contact, Blood Rush, North Wind, Shocking, Touch, Organ Shatter, and Spoil Strike. Again, this is the stat stick, so you're going to need to mod this way or better to achieve something that is going to boost your Whip Claw into dangerous damage output. So the next thing I want to cover is, well, let's just get into the abilities. So I replaced her Ensnare, and a lot of people are going to ask me why I would want to do that over replacing Venari. Well, honestly, Venari can heal me, and that's more important to me in those situations where I may be fighting infested. I could get toxin damage, and it's more important to me that Venari gives me health because I don't have anything else within my build aside from like Magus Repair that I would do while in operator form, and I will be doing that anyway regardless. But Ensnare is going to be replaced by Condemn specifically because my operator also has the Zenuric passive, which I will show off in a second. So the most important thing to do here is when you have enemies that are attacking you and being very offensive and aggressive, you can just do a Condemn, which will boost your shields and CC them easily. And then on top of that, you can use Zenuric to really pull them in, get a Strangle Dome going, and half the time you don't even need a Strangle Dome. You can just spam the crap out of Whip Claw, which is why your Arcane Energize is going to be very important, and your Zenuric Focus Lens. Moving on to the Zenuric Focus Lens, I'm going to show you and discuss to you why Zenuric is possibly the best focus lens in the game right now. So on top of having energy pickups grant 50% additional energy over 5 seconds, you have the energizing dash, which everybody knows about, everybody uses to give their Warframes more energy. But on top of that, you have Void Singularity. Void Mode pulls enemies within 20 meters towards the operator and costs an additional 2 energy per second. This is going to act better than an Ensnare. It acts better than an Ensnare with everything included here, such as Void Mode emits a pulse that deals 500 damage over 15 meters and costs an additional 1 energy per second. I mean, this is going to shock things. The Lightning Dash, it manifests a ball of lightning after a Void Dash that travels slowly and zaps enemies within 16 meters for 800 damage, costs 10 energy. Not bad at all. I don't use this for raw damage. I use this mostly for CC because it will stagger them. The Zenuric is just a really good focus tree to use with Khora because you're going to need the energy. You're going to need to pull them in very close. I highly recommend it. It definitely has my seal of approval. So, not a whole lot of other builds are important with this setup. I will go into Venari. I'll give you Sharpened Claws, Bite, Link Health, Prime Animal Instinct, Link Armor, Fetch, Swipe, Meta Pet Kit, Frost Jaw, and Venom Teeth. This is just to make sure that Venari is going to do a decent amount of damage whenever it does attack. For companions, I have the Helios Prime. This is also acting as an additional stat stick because it has the Deconstructor Prime. But for the Helios Prime, you could actually remove the Prime Animal Instinct because you already have it on Venari. So I use Helios Prime for other Warframes, therefore I won't remove Prime Animal Instinct. But take note of this. That way you can put something else in this slot. I also have Targeting Receptor, Metal Fiber, Sanctuary, Detect Vulnerability, Investigator, Meta Ray, Enhanced Vitality, Calculated Redirection, and Prime Regen. Now the cream of the crop, as I said before, the additional stat stick lies within the weapon we give the Helios Prime, which has Virulent Scourge, Vicious Frost, Voltic Strike, Volcanic Edge, which I need to max out once I put one more Forma into, Spoiled Strike, Gladiator Vice, Gladiator Rush, and Gladiator Might. Altogether, this is going to give me a plus 30% critical chance per combo multiplier, given the fact that it's a set bonus. So, off into explaining how this works. So, the biggest problem I have with demonstrating this is that my Broken War here will kill them far quicker than I need them to die because I want to get a combo multiplier up as high as I can. So what I'll do is I'll set invincibility on, and I'll spawn the typical level 170 heavy gunners, and I'll spawn like multiple of them, so that way I can spend a lot of time showing you guys building up my combo multiplier and then demonstrating the powers. So you just want to get in here and just slash everything. We're already up to a 2 times, we're up to a 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It will stack quickly. 6 times, 7 times, and there's few that have already died. 8 times, we're up to red crits. 9 times. Now this is where it gets cool. You cast your Strangle Dome, and then, oh my god, the red and orange crits everywhere. That one's dead. That one's dead. I can't hit him apparently. That one's dead. Not too many remain. They're all dead. Oh, 2. Nope, 1 remains. And that's it. Well, no, I was wrong. There was another one hiding here, but of course it can be easily finished off there. And you keep your 12 times multiplier here, which is absurd. It's absurd. I don't know what else I can do to demonstrate the effectiveness of this build. I guess what I'll do is show you maybe the effectiveness of the taunt core with the current build that I have for it. It's only doing yellow crits, but I mean it does damage over time during for the hunter munitions, so things die relatively quickly. This is like if you're out of energy and you need things to die, this is definitely the route to go. They'll drop an energy orb because your Helios Prime is helping kill them. Yeah, this is pretty effective. And that's just the taunt core itself. They're all dead here. If I can track down another enemy, this one's got relatively full health, so you can see the Brock in action. Again, not the best damage for a secondary, but I mean within 2 clips, it's gone. It's just completely gone. You've already seen the Broken War in action. I guess the best thing for me to do now is probably to take invincibility off and show you Condemn and why we chose to roll with that. So we're going to simulate this. We're going to try to gather these guys up. So now that they're all kind of like in the same area, you can freeze them. And now you just have enemies that are there at your disposal for whatever reason. You can kill them any way you imagine. I would take this time to actually keep them held still and build up the combo multiplier. That's what's important here, because once that's built up, you can start doing the Whip Claw and really get away with a lot. You keep using the Condemn so that way your shields will stay up, and if you don't do that, then that happens. You start losing health, and you always want to make sure that you're, of course, not dying. So then you switch your Venari to heal. Venari will come to you if it's not being a retarded AI. Otherwise, Helios will heal you because Venari's not doing its job. Okay, Venari heal, there it goes. I don't know why this companion is stuck here. Yet again, another glitch that I've found in a video format similar to this. I think this is the longest demonstration I've done for a rapid fire build, but it's just so powerful. Khora is a favorite Warframe right now, and I wanted to showcase this pretty much unbeatable combo. I mean, with Helios, Venari, Khora, and the weapons that we're using, it's really tough for enemies to mount any type of offense against you because you've got everything. You've got CC, you've got DPS, you've got defense. Like, she is so solid, and she helps out a team. She's definitely one of my favorite frames to use for steel farming, or steel essence farming, and you can see why. You can see why the world thinks of Khora as meta. So, As always, if you've learned something from this video, it always helps if you smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, do as I always encourage you to do, and until next time, this has been Vance, signing out. Peace.